Hey there, this is a quick look at the answer key to this practice quiz. It's all about quadratics. A quadratic is an expression that can be written as ax squared plus bx plus c. And if there's an equal sign, then you set it equal to 0, but there's no equal sign. So we just want to get all the terms together in that order. So in all of these, we need to do what's called expanding. That's where you have to distribute something or square something, do whatever it says to sort of open it up to see what's going on. This is x squared then plus 7x plus 7, and that right there is in that form. So this is a quadratic. Okay, so if it says which of the following are, this is a quadratic. This one, however, is just x minus 7x when you bring that in, and plus 7, and that is not. That's just negative 6x plus 7. That's a line. That is not quadratic, so no quadratic there. This one is a quadratic because anytime you have an x times an x, you get an x squared, and an x times a 1, you'll get an x. But this 7, I want to bring this over here to have this in standard form right there like that. So that is a quadratic. I'll put a Q there for that. This one, a little bit more complicated, but it shouldn't slow you down. Multiply the x in, you get 2x squared plus 3x, I'm looking ahead, and then minus, when I bring the 7 in, 7x, and when I bring the negative 7 in, that's minus 7. So just watch the minus sign there. You distribute that in with the 7 very carefully. Here are my x terms. So this is 2x squared. 3x minus 7x is minus 4x minus 7. So that is a quadratic as well. All right. Then this is just factor. You need to know these rules for factoring. This is a quote-unquote easy one because there's no coefficient in front of the x squared term. The only way to get x squared is x times x, so that half is done for us. I look at the 12, and I know these numbers must multiply to make 12s, but they add to make that number 7. Things that multiply to make 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. We've done this one a bunch of times, pretty standard. There we go, that is factored, okay? Same thing with this, only slightly different. It's also going to be x and x, so that makes it easier. Now I subtract here, so two numbers that multiply to make 14, then the numbers subtract to make a 5. That's going to be 2 and 7. It's really only 1 and 14 and 2 and 7. I'm going to go, that plus sign goes with the bigger of the two numbers. The nice thing about this is you can always check your work by foiling it back out, and you should get what you started with there. Negative 2x and a plus, 7x. That is going to give us then, that's going to give us the 5x we wanted. I was misreading that for a second. This one now is the more complicated because I don't know if it's 1x and 6x, or maybe it's 2x and 3x, or maybe it's switched around. There are a lot of possibilities. So I need a systemized way of doing this. I like this little box. If you like that, it works. You don't have to do it. It just helps get organized. I put the first thing here, 6x squared. I put the minus 20 there, and I multiply in this direction, and I get a minus 120x squared, which I write over here again. This just shows me that it's going to be symmetrical. I need an x and an x here. That'll give me my x squared. But what things multiply to make 120? That when I subtract the numbers, I get 19. And you just need to be systematic and be like, okay, 1 times 120, 2 times 60. If I can cut that in half, I can double that. I can cut 60 in half to 30 and double that to 4. And what am I trying to do? I'm trying to subtract to make 19. If I cut this in half, I get 15, and I double that, I get 8. That's not going to work. Then I can't cut that in half anymore, so I can try 3. 3 times 40 gives me 120. If I can cut this in half to 20, I can double that to 6. And again, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to subtract these numbers to make 19. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to try 5. 5 then times 30 would, no, sorry, 5 times 24 will give me 120, and if I subtract these, I get 19. So eventually you're going to hit pay dirt. I'm going to put a 5x here and a 24x there. It does not matter, but what does matter is that this sign will go with the bigger of the two numbers. So 24 is bigger, so that's going to be that. I could either circle that and write that down, or circle this one and write that down, whichever one is easier for me to take things out of. I like the fact that this is a plus and these numbers are smaller, so I'm going to do that one. 6x squared plus 5x. I can always take and eliminate an x. And can I take out a number? And the answer is no. So I know that one of my factors is 6x plus 5. And then once you get 1/2, you can just say 6x times x gives me 6x squared. 5 times 4 gives me 20, and this has to be then the minus. And if you rainbow check it, you'll see that you get your 24 and your 5, so that gives you the 19. So this is the correct answer. I hope that little answer key helped. Good luck, everybody.